There's a few times a year where you need to really ramp up your makeup game, maybe go from a no makeup look to maybe a soft glam or a full glam look, things like graduation, weddings, which we're in wedding season. So I wanted to share with you my favorite behind the scenes beauty hacks that I use, again, for those special occasions, whether I'm attending a wedding or if I'm gonna be on TV on NBC's New Day Northwest here in Seattle, or on Studio 13 Live, which is a Fox station here in Seattle. I have just learned through different makeup artists and trial and error, really more on the error side, some makeup tricks and hacks for our more mature skin that have really helped my photos look better and just look better, more glam, I guess. It's a glam day, but I would not use these tips and tricks every day because it's just a lot. You could spend an extra 30 to 45 minutes just getting ready. So it's a lot for every day, but for those special occasions, I'm gonna take you behind the scenes and show you what I do. So let's start with hair first because that's an easy one. I have thinning hair as I get older and it's just continuing to thin. I'm grateful for it, but yeah, I would like a little bit more volume when it comes to my hair. The biggest tip that I have for you is I use a comb that looks like this, just a pointy end, and I will go about an inch down the side of my head, clip that over, and then I use this Wow, all these products I purchased myself, I should say. So once I split it like that, then I'll take this Wow Style on steroids. None of these products have been sent to me. I paid for all of them. This video is not sponsored. And then I will spray that right at the root so that I'm getting the spray on this side of the hair as well as that side of the hair. But I don't want too much of it down here because this is the side that's gonna weigh down. So I spray a little here, but the majority of it on the upside. Then I'll take that comb. I mean, we're just gonna back comb it, you guys. This is no secret. But where I do it is not around my whole head. I just like to do it on. Now, if you're gonna be in front of people, you probably would wanna do this all the way around. But because this is like my TV look, I mostly just do the sides because no one sees the back of my head. And then once I comb it up a little bit, that way, then I just comb it down on the side where I just added that spray. And then what I will do is I will spray this one more time just to give it extra texture, because the more texture you have, the more there's grit on each hair strand, which just makes the hair strands look bigger at the base or the root, if you will. And then I will just go in and kind of comb that out. Now, once I'm here, then of course I'll kind of put it in place and make sure that it looks natural and not all crazy. But look at the difference that that gives you. And then I would spray with hairspray just a little bit right through here to keep it off of my face. But nice volume, right? Like, let's just real quickly do the other side or else I'll finish the video looking lopsided. And no one wants that. So it's a really fast process. But again, this is not something I do every day because I'm pretty sure there's some breakage down here if I was to do this every day. So I don't, but I do definitely do it on special occasions. If I know there's gonna be photography, I don't want flat hair if I can help it, so I will fake it, and I am not ashamed to say that. Okay, so see how quickly that works? Super fast, and again, this is Wow Style on steroids. Really love this product. I like a lot of the Wow products, but that is one of my favorites. So nice big volume, and if I wanted to add some to the back, which I probably should because it might look a little flat, but anyway, that gets you started. While we're on the hairline, I gave you guys this little tip and trick the other day. Oh, this is also by Wow, which I kind of had forgot. This is their root cover up, and I do use this to cover up roots, like if I can't get to the salon and I've got gray coming through. You just find the color that most closely matches your root color. It's really, this is an eyeshadow, but I do find that the powder's a little bit heavier than an eyeshadow. So you could use eyeshadow on your head. I wouldn't use this as eyeshadow. I wouldn't go the other way, but you could use eyeshadow up here if you need to for a pinch and you don't have access to this. But I like this because it has this dense brush on one end and then it has this brush on the other side. I don't know that I've ever used that brush. I always just use this one because here's where I use this. And here's the before. As we get older and our hair's a little more thin, one of the more telltale signs for thin hair is right up through here, especially in the light when the sun shows more of your scalp right in this area. So you can see I'm pretty white through here because my hair is thinning. So I just take this, and again, I need to give credit. I saw this from Lisa D1 probably back in 2018, and I've been doing it ever since. So see that line? Well, here's what I looked like before. If you take that and just go, I just dap it along that hairline so that it doesn't look as obvious. Now, if you have more thinning, then you'll just want to add this where you see some thinning so that as the sunlight or light comes down, you don't see as much of your scalp. It just kind of camouflages it a little bit and makes your hair look thicker, right? So love this. And I have it in medium brown is the color that I use. So you just want to find the color that most closely matches your root color. The other thing that you can do with this is you could use this denser side and do your eyebrows. But again, I wouldn't use it as eyeshadow. I just think it's a more stiff powder, I think I would say, which you need it to be. But you probably could use it as eyeshadow, but I wouldn't. I would definitely use this on my eyebrows and then up in that gray area. And then if you have some grays, you could just touch them up with your finger. Yeah, or with the brush. But big fan of this product. I'm never without this one. And this is the one of all the tips and tricks I'm gonna share with you. This is probably the one that I do more regularly. Like if I'm gonna film or if I've got company coming over, I will do this. This is like my second one I've ever bought. That's how long they last. All right, so let's go on to the face. Now, the night before a special event is an important prepping time for those of us that have more mature skin and wrinkles under the eyes. I am a big fan of slugging. And if you have not heard of slugging, it kind of became popular in 2022, 23. I tried it and now I'm hooked. What I do is I use this CeraVe SA cream. This is what I put all over my body. I'll put it on my hands the night before a special event and then I'll sleep with socks on over my hands because I really want my hands to be hydrated. For me, when I'm on TV, the camera usually will zoom in on my hands because I'm holding a product or something. So I need my hands to be very hydrated. You could do that if you're gonna be, like I said, at a wedding or at graduation and you just feel like your hands are gonna be out more, then you could certainly do that. The other thing that I do, going back to the slugging, is I will take this one, and I like the SA cream. You can use the CeraVe Night Renewal Cream. You can use the L'Oreal Collagen Filler, whatever moisturizer you have. The idea here is to put that moisturizer, or whatever your eye cream is, underneath your eyes where you have more wrinkles. Then, and this is the night before, then I use Aquaphor. You can use Vaseline. I just prefer Aquaphor over Vaseline, but you can use either one. Then you put this on top of that CeraVe or your night moisturizer, whatever night cream you have. Then you put this over your moisturizer and you kind of want to seal it all the way around. The idea is that this locks in that moisturizer all night and really allows the moisturizer to penetrate into your eye area, and this also penetrates into the eye area so that the next morning your under eyes are very hydrated. So I do this every night before I'm going to be on TV, and again, it's called slugging. You can do it a couple hours before, like if your event is going to be in the evening, you could do it a couple hours before. Just really allow that moisture to lock in. I have to get up at 4 on the days that I am on TV, so I do it the night before. But again, you can certainly do it, especially if you've seen people that wear like those under eye patches. If you don't have under eye patches, and even if you do, I just don't find that those hydrate that under eye area nearly good enough, because then when you go to put on makeup, whether it's your color corrector and then a concealer, and you might set it with a powder, it's just a lot of product. So the more hydrated and plump that under eye area can be, the better that makeup application is going to look from the onset, and it's going to last longer looking good. So I'm a big fan of slugging. Again, I use the SA cream and the Aquaphor. Leave it on. Now, the next morning, what I will do is I will just pat in whatever is left. I won't wash it off. I'll just pat it in. There's not much left the next morning, so just pat it in and then go on about your makeup application. The next thing I will do is apply Lumify. You guys, this is such a key part of a special occasion or a glam look or any look really, because as we've aged, we don't sleep as good and our eyes can be more red and bloodshot. And if you just add a drop of this into your eyes, I'm not gonna do it now because it does, if I miss my drop, which I typically will miss one or two, it's just gonna run down my face and I'll have makeup down my face. I did use it earlier today before I filmed, and you can just see how the whites of my eyes are white and bright. Now, note to self, make sure that you only use this while it is before the expiration date, because I did that one time, and I know some people are gonna comment that I talk too much, but it's my channel and I like to talk with you guys. So anyway, I did use this once that was expired and I didn't know it. And that day, one of my pupils shrunk and one stayed the same size. So one was not reacting to the light. I can't say for sure that it was this. What I can say is that was the only thing that I did to my eyes different. So much so that my husband took me to the doctor because we're like, what's wrong with her eyes? And it really just, it kind of wore off by the end of the day that my eyes dilated at the same time. Again, I don't know that this is what caused it, but I am saying this is the one thing that I used. And when I came home and looked, because the doctor said, did you use any eye drops? And at first I was like, no, I don't use eye drops. And I was like, oh, I did. I did use Lumify this morning. When we got home, we looked and it was expired. So just make sure you use a fresh bottle. I've used this plenty of times before that incident and plenty of times after. And I always use it before it's expired, and I've never had that problem. So don't know if that's what it was, but just make sure it's fresh and not expired. The next thing is I'm saving the best one for last, by the way. So I will pull my hair down for a second just so that you can see my hair as it gets thinner. I just feel like I show more of a receding hairline and my forehead just shows more than I want it to. It's not as symmetrical with the rest of my face, in my opinion. So I definitely contour in this area to pull down the hairline. Now you can use whatever kind of contour you like. I prefer cream contour. Essence Baby Got Back. This was Crush on Caviar. It's a pretty dark contour. I do like this one. I've also used this dark one by Dior. I just like, for these special occasions, a darker contour, but you just have to really blend them in well. I'm gonna share with you how I use the Essence one because it's the most cost effective and I like it. So you just want a brush that is somewhat tight like this. This is an old, I don't even know what brush this is. Can't even, there's nothing on it. This might be a Wayne Goss brush, actually an old one. I just take that dark contour cream. You can use powder if you want. I just prefer a cream. I just find it easier to blend. And then I'll go right at the hairline and pull that hairline down. So see how dark that is? But don't worry, because that's kind of what I want. And then I'll blend it. But without blending it, you can kind of see how my forehead looks less enlarged. But it does look crazy right now because it's not blended. But trust the process, no worries, it's gonna be fine. Now, some people don't like to contour. I prefer it on my more mature skin because, again, I just feel like as I've gotten older, my hairline has receded and I don't like the looks of that. Now, you want to avoid this temple area if you have lost volume in this temple area like I have. So I don't want to make this look more indented. I just really want to make this area look more shadowed and back. Now, I do this sometimes on videos, but not very often. This is not a process that I do every day. Because it can be pretty intense, and if you don't blend it correctly, it can really look funny. So we're just gonna blend it, blend it, blend it. There's a lot of blending involved. Now, I don't bring this all the way down to my eyebrows, but if you do get it too low, then just take some of your concealer and put it right through here and highlight that area, brighten that area back up a little bit, and you'll be fine. That brush is a little stiff probably, so I'm gonna just grab a softer brush and now blend that out. Just buff it. And then I'll take whatever's left on that brush and just go around my jawline just to make sure that I've really carved out a nice jawline. And definitely go on this part, that double chin part. You can camouflage that, no problem. The key to any of this is to just blend the lines so that you can't tell that there has been shading done there. So see how easy that is? Blends nicely, and now my forehead just doesn't look quite as enlarged or big, if you will, which is, well, let me put my hair down so you can see. So it's just a better look. Look, we are each each tip we are erasing years from my look. I hope so anyway. That's the key. At least for a couple hours. Then, like I said, when we wash it all off, ta-da, you're back. All right, now the next thing is you want to make sure that your eyebrows are pretty on point for any special event because there's just a lot of attention on this center part of your face. So I use a pencil. This one's by Makeup Forever. Anastasia of Beverly Hills has one that's similar to this color. Benefit probably has one. They're usually a little bit thicker. I like the smaller one because I feel like I can control it better, but it's up to you if you like a bigger pencil or a smaller pencil. But the whole point is to just, after you've done your eyebrows and your eyeshadow, go in with this pencil and just line them. Think about this as lip liner for your eyebrows. You want to just go with a different color, a little, probably one shade lighter than your skin tone, and you want to go around the whole eyebrow. You can also use concealer for this. I just like a pencil because I think it blends out easier without adding the thickness of a formula. It's just a lighter process. And then just take a little brush and just really lightly go across and blend it. But you don't need to worry about blending it too nice or too well. See how easy? You can't really even tell, but my eyebrow looks more crisp without adding more product. Now this one looks a little crazy because it just has lately, I don't know why. So no problem. We can clean it up with just a touch of a little pencil. I am a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of all of these. I say that I know with every one of these, but I love how each one of them just adds a little extra detail to your overall makeup look. Next, let's talk about eyelashes. I don't have false eyelashes on, but for a special event, I will add singles or clusters like this one. The thing is you want to buy the type that is not pre-glued or a press-on. This is the kind you don't want. See how this says, where does it say? Oh, right here in big letters, Jody. This one says press-on. The key to a nice false eyelash look, especially I think for more mature women or anyone, is when you put on your lashes in small clusters like this, you want to apply them to the underside of the lash, not on the top side. And many of these that are pre-glued or press-on, the adhesive is on the bottom side of the lash so that you are meant to apply it on top of your lashes. I'm just not a big fan of that. I prefer to buy them not pre-glued. Then you apply your glue to the bottom side of the lash, and you can build them any way you want. But I like to, I'm just gonna kind of show you the best I can here without actually doing it. So here's the lash. You wanna go to the underside this way and glue. So when you apply the glue, you wanna apply it to the top of your false lash, a little tiny bit. Let it dry so that it gets pretty tacky. I let it dry for about 30 seconds. And then with my fingers like this, I will just apply it to this bottom side. Now this won't stick because I don't have glue on it, but that's the key. And then you really just want to apply maybe one or two to the very outer corners to just give a little bit of a lift or a flirty flutter. That's just my opinion. You can do whatever you want to make the lashes look the way you want. You can double these if you want. You can add them all the way to the inner corner, however you want. Again, just the key is to apply them from the bottom and not get the pre-glued. If you do happen to get these, you can apply them to the top. I just find that they never look natural. I've seen too many times where you're talking to someone and you can see that lash, whether it's the strip or the individuals. The individuals are definitely harder to detect, but I think they're still detectable. So I like to get them not pre-glued, glue them yourself and glue them to the underside of your eyelash. All right, that's a big tip. Also, let's keep rocking. All right, you guys, when it comes to lipstick, I will always put on whatever color I'm gonna wear, and then right before I go to the event or go on air, I will add this Lifter Gloss by Maybelline because it gives a little bit of a glow right in the center and any bit of a lift. Now, I don't wanna lift the whole lip. I just wanna lift the appearance right in the center of the lip. And then what I will do is go with, I carry a little like bag. After I do my makeup, I'll go to the TV station and then I have a little bag. And inside that bag is this, it's my powder, just to powder anything that's shiny, and hairspray, and then that's it. So this is that pencil that we used up here in the eyebrow. I will take this and just really lightly go the bottom third, softly blend it, but not too much, it's okay. And then right up here, I'll highlight. And then just real quickly blend it up. And your lip looks a little bit bigger. Okay, now the biggest tip that I will share with you is one that I learned from RuPaul. When you probably have seen those master classes that you can get the app on your phone and it teaches you master classes. RuPaul did a complete makeup master class, and his makeup artist had came on a few of them and shared some tips and tricks. This one I was like, why didn't I know about this? So this is one, you guys, that I didn't really need a few years ago, but as I've gotten older and the marionette lines are just, they're bothersome to me. They may not be noticeable to anybody else, but I notice them and I don't care for them. So I often will be in the mirror and go, gosh, if I could just have this area pulled back just a little bit, just tighten that like it used to be. And lo and behold, there is a way. And this is a pretty noticeable application. This tip needs to be done before you apply any moisturizer. So clean face before your sunscreen, moisturizer, skincare, anything. Trust me when I tell you that, because I have done it after a full face of makeup and then remembered, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. And it doesn't stick nearly as well. So you may have seen this trick. It's fabulous. And yeah, I do it when I'm going to be on TV for sure. So it's very easy. Again, just do it before you do your hair or anything. I'm just throwing my hair up real quick so we can see. Now, what you would typically want to do, like I said, is start with a clean face. So I am just going to clean off my face on the sides where I have a little bit of makeup so that it actually sticks so that you guys can see. Now, again, you can just see I have right through here. I'm going to exaggerate it so you can just get a sense, but so I don't like the looks of that. I want my 30-year-old cheeks back. I just want this whole area to be tight. So right in front of my ear, right here, I'm going to clean a spot. Now this tip also works if you want to pull back this area, if you want your eyes to just go back like that, and your hair is long enough to cover these areas. This thing is called a miracle, is what I call it. It's actually called Secret Lift. You've probably seen these. If you haven't, you want to see these. The way these work, I'm so excited about these. And when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't think that's gonna work, but it actually really works really nicely. And I think a lot more people wear them than we think. The way it works is it comes with this elastic band, if you will, and on each end, there's a little clip, just like that. And it adjusts through here, so you can make it smaller or tighter depending on your needs. Then you just take this little tab, there's an adhesive side on one side, and then you put the end of this right through that hole so that it attaches to your strip or your band. Just like that. And then on the other side, you do the other one. And these packets are available on Amazon for like $10, you guys. So it's a very cost-effective cheat for a couple hours. And once you put these on and then you apply your makeup, these are undetectable. You can't see them. And like I said, you can do them right if your hair is long enough and allows. You can do them up through here to pull this part back. It's very comfortable. You don't even know it's there. So now that I have those attached, I'm going to take off this side. And I'm gonna put that right here because I want to pull back this area. So I'm gonna put that right here. I'm gonna go right behind my ear. Now you can pull it and now you can adjust this however you need so that your hair will cover what you want to cover. And then I'm gonna go around the hairline. That's why I pulled my hair back. I'm gonna go right underneath so I can hide it all. I'm going to pull it to this side, take off that piece that's holding it, get my hair out of the way, and then I'm going to apply it right there. Let my hair down, And you guys, I can't really even feel this. I can't tell that it's on. I don't feel it at all. Then I would just apply makeup over it. Now see, you can see, now you can adjust these however you want so that they're not detectable. I'm just gonna tuck that behind my ear. Now I would go and apply makeup so that you can't see them, but you guys, this is amazing. Apparently drag queens use this tip all the time. I didn't know it till I saw RuPaul do it, and I'm like, why don't I know how to do that? I love this part of my face now when I tighten it back like that. But before, it just feels a little bit, I don't know if heavy's the way to say it, but you can see more lines and wrinkles in this marionette area, which I just don't like, especially for special events. Now, this isn't something that I do every day because A, it's a lot of work, and B, I don't want to hide or falsely present what my 54-year-old skin looks like. If it's a special event, like I'm going to be on TV and I just want to look a little bit better that day and feel more confident, that's when I will do this. Graduation, weddings, things like that. So very easy, very comfortable. I can't feel that it's on, but I can definitely see this tightness right through here, which for me is a big deal. Now, the last thing I will do, and I do this again, usually only for special occasions because I have layers of makeup, and that is to apply a setting spray everywhere. That's not new to anyone, but I definitely add a setting spray to lock in my makeup so that it looks nice all day. And then I will just carry a little bit of face powder just to keep powdering up my forehead if it tends to get a little shiny and I'm oily in the T-zone. So that tends to happen. I've been loving this Cosas. This is the Cloud Set. Big fan of this. I wasn't sure it was one of my first Cosas products, but I've loved this. And I also love the color corrector that Cosas just came out with. I have that under today, but that's something that I wear every day. That's not a special tip or trick, and it's one that I've already shared with you guys. Whew, okay, well, that does it. I've spilled the tea with you guys and giving you my best tips and tricks, kind of behind the scene ones. I share with you every day what my makeup looks like, some makeup hacks, but these are those little extra beauty secrets that I don't think everyone talks about, and I want you to know about them because maybe they'll work for you for a special occasion, or maybe you want to do it every day. No judgment here. Do you, and I support it 100%. All right, you guys, that does it for me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.